Welcome back, everybody. If you are new here, hi, my name is Nikki. It's so nice to meet you. In the back is my pup Switch. He is my companion and travels with me. So this week's adventure is kind of a 2-day adventure. So yesterday we went to Upper North Falls, we went to Hidden Falls Nature Park Trail first, which is in the Portland area. It was only like 30 minutes southeast of me, and that was it says that I walked 2 miles, but it was only like really a mile round trip. And I did a lot of walking back and forth trying to like find a good spot to take pictures of those falls. So that's probably why I think I walked a lot longer than I actually did. And you couldn't actually get to the base of the falls, but there was this like really beautiful bridge that you end up crossing over, and there's slats in the bridge. And so I just got my camera as low as I could to like the bottommost slat, and then I took a picture of the falls like through the break in the slats. So it ended up being fine. It was moderately trafficked, so there wasn't a ton of people there at all. And it was really nice weather, and so it wasn't like super overcast, it wasn't raining, the sun was out, and it's been like the first time I've gone hiking in a while now that it hasn't rained and I haven't gotten like soaked, and I didn't have to deal with any mud puddles, so that was really nice. And then we went to Upper North Falls, which is in Salem. It was an hour and 15 minutes southeast of Hidden Falls Trail, and that was 1.5 miles total, which was about correct. And it was both trails were very low elevation. They're really easy to hike, and all trails did say that the Upper North Falls was moderately trafficked, but let me tell you, there were so many people there. There was like a little parking spot or parking lot for that trailhead, and there were so many people that people were like waiting in their cars in line to get a parking spot. So I ended up going across the street, up a different road, and then just parking there and then walking to the trailhead, because I wasn't about to like wait for parking, and there was a ton of parking on the side of that road, so it's kind of silly that people were waiting so long. But I did wear my mask because we are still in a pandemic in the US, and so most trails around here, masks are required still, which as they should be, in my opinion, because if you can keep yourself safe, then keep yourself safe, and others safe too. So I wore my mask for this one just because the amount of people that were there in the falls was so pretty. It was just huge. It was just a huge falls, and because it's the winter season, it rains a bunch, and so all the waterfalls during this time of year are just, they're just raging. They just roar down, and it makes for really beautiful pictures. And so I definitely was there for probably like an hour and 15 minutes, maybe an hour and a half, just like not just taking pictures, but also just taking in the scenery. So by the time I got back to my car, it was about 3:45, and the third trail I wanted to go on was another hour and 15 minutes south from where I was. And so I wouldn't have gotten to the last trail until 5, which is when it gets dark. And so I decided just to go home and figured I would go somewhere different on the next day, which is today, Sunday. So today we are going to Scappoose, Oregon. It's called Beaver Falls Trail. It says it's 0.5 miles out and back, and it's I think it's just an hour northwest. So not like going north up the coast kind of, but you're not quite at the coast. But like if you wanted to drive to the coast, I think it would be another like 30 minutes probably. And so I'm really interested to see what this trail has to offer, because like it's been on my list for a while, but I just haven't ever gone because I haven't found any other trail around this area that seems interesting to me yet. And so I just have never gone to it because it's kind of the only trail out there, and it's an hour away, a little over an hour away. And so whenever I go adventuring, I do like to clump trails together that in similar areas, because I will drive like anywhere from 1 to 5 hours away to get somewhere. So it just kind of makes sense to hit as many places as possible. But if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because it helps the channel. Plus, every adventure is different and exciting, and sometimes it doesn't always go according to plan, which is why I document the behind the scenes adventures of my Instagram photography page, Raw Footage Photography, which will be linked in the description below. I'm excited to see what this waterfall is like, so let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, so just got back from Beaver Falls Trail and I 100% went the completely wrong direction. I didn't know where the entrance to the trail was, and I didn't even think to look to the left of me. I just looked to the right because that's where I saw people coming up, and that was definitely the very wrong direction. But it wouldn't be an adventure with me if I didn't go the wrong direction. So it's not necessarily I went the wrong direction. I just went like down this really steep hill and got right to the river. But there was like an actual trail to the left that kind of zigzagged down to the falls. And so basically I just went straight down to the river. And then I was at that point literally, I mean, on all trails it tracks. I download the trail map, and then I can also see where I'm located. So like I knew what direction to go to meet up with the trail, but I ended up walking down the river, and I wasn't even walking on a trail at all. I was just like walking through the forest because again, I went the wrong direction. And so I ended up following the river as far as I could until I got like swamped out basically, and then there was so much obstruction that I just couldn't move forward anymore, so my only option was to go back up the hill. But this was like probably a quarter mile towards the falls, which I think would be quarter mile west, maybe, I don't know. But I eventually saw on my map that I was like really close. Like here was like the trail, and then here was like my dot showing. So it says I was like right next to it. And so I was like, okay, well, I guarantee you if I go up this hill, then I'll meet up with the trail. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. And then I just followed the trail all the way down to the falls. And when I got to the falls, there literally was no one there. And so I got to shoot a bunch of pictures in a bunch of different spots with no one around. And when I was done, that's when everyone else started showing up. And so it was it was so pretty. So there was like there was a main falls there, and then there's like this little tiny stream that was kind of like, it was like a little baby falls, but it's like super skinny, and it was kind of like on the opposite side of it, and it was just so pretty. And the mist from this waterfall, from all the water, was just incredible. There's just like so much mist, and yeah, I don't know, I just love waterfalls. They're like so majestic. And the trail was once I walked back to the car on the trail itself, and the trail was not bad at all. I mean, it's definitely been raining here, you can tell, but there wasn't a bunch of mud, and it was very well, like you could see the trail really well, so you never really got confused of like what direction to go. And yeah, it was pretty easy. I ended up walking 1.5 miles again because I completely like went the wrong direction and didn't follow the trail itself. So I did walk an extra like mile total. So oh well, that's okay. It didn't take me long. I think I was here for it's been an hour and a half now, and that's also with filming too, so not bad at all. I'm gonna go ahead and end the vlog here. I'm glad you stayed this long, and since you did stay this long, if you haven't already, you should go ahead and hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and turn on your post notifications so you don't miss out on a new video every single week. This was such a great adventure. And also let me know down in the comments below places that you're interested in. It could be places that you've already been that you want to suggest to me, or is places that maybe you are interested in but haven't gone, or can't go, or haven't gone yet, and this way I can showcase it for you. And if it's a dud, then at least I went through it and you didn't, and you can just see it from home. I love you guys tremendously and appreciate all your support, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, week, or weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye.